did not invent oil. He did not invent machines. He did not invent capitalism. He invented something far more powerful: control. Before the world understood multinational corporations, before governments even knew how to define monopolies, one man quietly learned how to dominate an entire industry from the inside out. There were louder businessmen, flashier tycoons, men who chased headlines and applause. Rockefeller did none of that. He ruled through structure, through patience, through systems so efficient they made resistance irrelevant. And by the time America realized what had happened, the oil industry was no longer competitive. It was owned. Chapter 1. Origins. A mind built for order. Rockefeller did not grow up starving, but he grew up uncertain. His childhood was defined by instability in subtle forms. His father was unreliable, often absent, drifting between schemes and personalities. His mother was the opposite: strict, religious, disciplined to the point of severity. From her, Rockefeller absorbed a worldview rooted in restraint and accounting. Every dollar mattered. Every expense was recorded. Waste was a moral failure. While other children imagined adventure or fame, Rockefeller imagined balance. Money, to him, was not indulgence. It was structure, a tool to eliminate chaos. From an early age, he kept meticulous ledgers. Pennies earned, pennies spent. He learned that numbers told the truth when emotions did not. In a young America still finding its economic footing, this mindset was rare. The country celebrated risk-takers and gamblers. Rockefeller respected predictability. He didn't dream of being rich. He dreamed of being secure. And security, in a volatile economy, required something most people avoided: control over variables. Chapter 2. The Chaos of Oil. When oil was discovered in Pennsylvania, it wasn't immediately seen as a blessing. It was disorder in liquid form. Hundreds of independent drillers rushed in. Prices swung wildly. Fortunes appeared overnight and vanished just as quickly. The industry had no standards, no coordination, no stability. Wells flooded markets with excess supply one month and left cities scrambling the next. Most people saw oil as a gamble. Rockefeller saw a logistical nightmare, and more importantly, an opportunity. He noticed something others ignored. Drilling oil was unpredictable, but refining it didn't have to be. While everyone fought over wells, Rockefeller focused on refineries, where crude oil became something usable. This part of the process rewarded consistency, efficiency, and scale. He wasn't chasing oil, he was organizing it. The real power, he realized, wasn't in owning resources. It was in owning systems: transportation, storage, refining, distribution. The pieces everyone else treated separately, Rockefeller saw as one machine, and he intended to run it. Chapter 3. The machine called Standard Oil. Rockefeller founded Standard Oil on a deceptively simple principle: efficiency beats everyone. He cut costs obsessively, eliminated waste mercilessly, negotiated transportation rates no competitor could match. Railroads were the arteries of the oil industry, and Rockefeller understood leverage. By guaranteeing massive, consistent shipments, he secured secret rebates that allowed him to transport oil cheaper than anyone else. His competitors paid more to move the same product. This wasn't sabotage, it was mathematics. If Rockefeller could sell oil for less and still make a profit, competitors faced an impossible choice: lose money or sell their business. Many chose to sell. Those who resisted weren't attacked with lawsuits or violence. Rockefeller simply lowered prices until survival became unsustainable. Then he waited. When the moment came, he bought what remained, often at a discount. Quietly, legally, relentlessly. He didn't crush his enemies, he made them unnecessary. And as Standard Oil absorbed refinery after refinery, the industry stopped behaving like a free market. It became coordinated, predictable, profitable for Rockefeller. Chapter 4. The Invisible Empire. At its peak, Standard Oil controlled more than 90% of America's oil refining capacity. This was unprecedented. There were no grand speeches announcing dominance, no visible throne. Rockefeller didn't hold public office or lead political movements. His power was silent, structural, embedded in ownership and contracts. Oil powered everything: factories, railroads, urban expansion, modern life itself. And Rockefeller controlled oil. The public slowly realized something unsettling. The lifeblood of industrial America flowed through a single private system. One man, without being elected or crowned, held influence over the nation's economic pulse. It challenged old assumptions. Power was no longer just political. It was organizational. And the laws weren't ready. Chapter 5. The cost of absolute control. Control came with consequences. As Standard Oil expanded, Rockefeller retreated. He avoided public life, trusted fewer people. Even family members were folded into management structures rather than treated as emotional equals. His body began to reflect the pressure. He suffered nervous breakdowns, severe insomnia, sudden hair loss. The system he built functioned flawlessly. The man inside it did not. Rockefeller had mastered external order but struggled with internal peace. His discipline bordered on obsession. Delegation felt like vulnerability. Trust felt inefficient. He had eliminated uncertainty from business, but not from himself. And as scrutiny grew, so did isolation. Chapter 6. Fall, Fracture, and Legacy. Eventually, the government intervened. Public pressure mounted. Journalists exposed Standard Oil's methods. Courts began to recognize that total efficiency had crossed into total domination. Antitrust laws, created in response to Rockefeller's empire, finally had teeth. Standard Oil was ordered to break apart. On paper, it was the fall of a monopoly. In reality, it was the multiplication of one. The fragments of Standard Oil became modern energy giants. Their combined value exceeded what the original company had been worth. Rockefeller, who owned shares in all of them, grew even wealthier. He lost control. He did not lose power. More importantly, his model survived. Corporations studied him. Governments learned from him. Markets were forever changed. The modern economy, defined by scale, vertical integration, and logistical dominance, was shaped by Rockefeller's methods. He lost his empire, but the world adopted his rules. John D. Rockefeller didn't conquer through force or charisma. He conquered through systems. And once systems replace individuals, power becomes invisible, inevitable, and incredibly hard to undo. That is why his story still matters. Not because of oil, but because of how control truly works. If this story made you rethink how power really works, how it hides inside systems, structure, and quiet decisions, then take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you realize. And now we want to hear from you. Do you see John D. Rockefeller as a ruthless monopolist who bent the system, or as a visionary who understood it better than anyone else? Did he break capitalism or reveal how it truly functions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and tell us who or what you think we should cover next.
These are days when many are discouraged. In the 93 years of my life, depressions have come and gone. Prosperity has always returned and will again.
And now on this my birthday, I desire to reaffirm my belief in the fundamental principles upon which this country was founded: liberty, unselfish devotion to the common good, and belief in God.